Hey everyone, happy January 4th, 2023. We're in a brand new year. And before I get started with tonight's video, what I want to do is just take a moment of silence for the young man who got injured on the NFL Buffalo Bills team, who right now is a patient in a hospital fighting for his life unexpectedly, because I'm quite sure that he had no idea that this terrible incident that he was in would occur. So I'm just going to take a moment of silence before I get started tonight in his honor, just because that's something that we need to do. All of us as patients, we really need to be mindful of the other patients who, unexpectedly or expectedly find themselves in a situation in which they're hospitalized in ICU, or even just an inpatient taking up a regular bed, who's not at home with their loved ones, because they are actually, they're actually fighting for their lives. So I just wanted to take the time once again to just give a moment of silence. Okay, so tonight I come to you because we're at the start of a brand new year with, brand new things on our plate. And if you're anything like me, who's a chronic patient, who has chronic conditions that I often have to go to the doctor for, you probably by now have about 4 or 5 appointments scheduled. And if you're not a chronic pain patient, or a chronic patient with a chronic disease, I'm so sorry, I'm tongue tied tonight. Um, you still need to make an appointment to see the doctor, whether it's once, whether it's twice this year, 3 times this year. And there's some information that you need to have when you go to the doctor and you see the doctor. One of those things that you need to be mindful of is shared decision making. It's the most important topic that you can possibly be at, and when it comes down to making appointments with your doctor. So shared decision making. You might say, Sandra, what is shared decision making? Shared decision making is when you, together with your doctor, come up with a plan for your best, for your best care. Maybe the doctor wants you to try medication A, and you're like, no, that never worked for me. What works for me is medication B. So together you decide on what's best for you. It's important to listen to your doctor, but it's just as important for the doctor to listen to you, because very often when that happens, when a shared decision making happens, it is a benefit to both the patient and the doctor. So remember that as you go forth and go into your doctor appointments. The other thing is, the other item that I want to talk to you about today is, make sure when you go to the doctor this year and he or she gives you a referral to see a doctor, make sure that that doctor that they're referring you to is in network. Make sure of that. Say, hey, doc, do you know if the doctor that you're sending me to, do you know if that, physician is in my network? If they do not know, take the time to call your insurance company and ask your insurance company rep. Please, people, making them a note that the insurance reps are not your enemies. They're actually on your side. They want to be able to help you. It's just sometimes they can't help you. They don't have, it's not so much the resources, but sometimes the frontline employees just don't have the, the authority to give you what you want, but they can tell you who's in your network and who's not in your network. So once again, with this being January and you having some doctor appointments lined up, make sure that you're asking your doctor, that you're saying, is that doctor in network? Because the last thing that you want to do is get stuck with a bill, right? There's laws now where it's some help for you so that you're not stuck with a bill. However, many of us do not know what those laws are and how those laws work. And while they appear on the surface to be great new laws when it comes down to helping patients who are seeing out of network providers, a lot of times there's red tape that you won't know until you actually go to an out of network provider. So, point number 2, make sure you're asking your doctor when you go, if they say, hey, I want to send you to Dr. Smith for a referral, for treatment or for them to see what's going on with you. Make sure you're asking, is that doctor in network? They don't know. Call your insurance company before you make an appointment and ask them, is this doctor that I'm going to, is this doctor in network? Make sure you're getting that information and make sure you're following what you're supposed to be following when it comes down to care. So we have one, shared decision making. We have 2, making sure your doctors that you're going into are in network and not out of network. And you say, Sandra, but what if I got to go to the emergency room or I have to go to an urgent care center and I'm thinking my doctor's in network, and then I come to find out I'm getting a bill and I thought they were in network? Well, call your insurance company. Let your insurance company help you with that. Tell your insurance company rep that you're talking to, hey, look, I, went to the emergency room because it was a true emergency. Remember, please, if it's not a true emergency, find an urgent care center that you can go to. It will save you plenty of money when you find an urgent care center that you can go to. So if you can, and it's not a true emergency, make sure that you are going to an urgent care center to get your care. Now, you might say, Sandra, that's excellent information, but my goodness, how do I find out, who it is that I can get? How do I find out that? And so what I'm going to tell you is this: take your booklet, and like right now it's online. So go online to your insurance company and look and see what's listed under true emergency. All emergencies are not true. So if you think you're not sure, look at online on your company's website, your insurance company's portal, and find out if that is a true emergency. If you go to the hospital, to the emergency room, and they admit you from the emergency room into the hospital, make sure you are looking at your explanation of benefits to see how you were charged. If you were charged both an emergency room bill and an inpatient bill, you need to immediately call your insurance company. And you need to immediately ask them, why do I have these 2 bills? Because 90% of the time when that happens is because they have unbundled charges, meaning they've taken apart charges that they shouldn't take apart, and they bill you for them. If you have any questions, that's why the website, that's why the Facebook group is there, so that you can ask these questions. So once again, we have the shared decision making. We have making sure you're going to an in-network provider. We have when you go to, making sure it's a true emergency when you go to the emergency room. We have becoming best friends with your insurance company reps. not holding it against them if you call them and they giving you an answer that you don't know or you don't like, not getting frustrated and stressed out, but saying, can I speak to a supervisor or can I speak to a manager? Because I'm really not understanding what it is you're telling me. Right? When that happens, when you get upset and angry and stressed out with whoever it is at your insurance company that you're talking to, when you get stressed out like that, you're also stressing the person you're calling. And they don't want to help you. Why should they? You're being arrogant and you're being angry and upset. So yeah, they really don't want to help you. Take it from a patient who plenty of times, while I am a board certified patient advocate, I'm also a patient. And plenty of times I've had to call I've had to call the doctor's office, I've had to call the insurance company, I had to do back and forth, and it gets kind of hectic and kind of crazy. But guess what I found out? And which is what most patients find out. When you are stressed out, it doesn't help your health condition. It really does not help your health condition when you are stressed out. It just doesn't help. And it's all about getting help. The way that you get well in your healthcare journey is by not being stressed out and doing things that you can do on your own, proactively on your own, to stop some of that hurt and stop some of that pain. So there are some things, once again, that you can do. Once again, if by any means, manner, or form, fashion, you're like, you know what, Sandra, you've given me great information, but I just can't remember it, please reach out to the Patient's Voice by Charms, the Facebook group. Either myself or one of my administrators, my lovely administrators who have stepped up, and even my board members who have stepped up and said, hey, we want to help. We want to level the playing field for all patients. One of them will get in touch with me and say, Sandra, have you seen it? Somebody asked the question, have you seen it? And either I'll respond or they will respond. But we're here to help all patients. This is a patient-run Facebook group. It's by a patient, it's for a patient. That patient might be you. But and so it's good. Like, I feel excellent, like really, really excellent when I can help somebody. I want to help. I want to be there because I know as a patient there were times that I've struggled with my own health care, right? And so I didn't know, and I didn't know who to ask, and I didn't know where to go to. And so I wish someone was around, to give me the information I'm giving to you, or that the group, the foundation, is sharing with you. That information helps. If you have any questions about anything that I've said this evening, if you need help, and before I go, right, I often talk to people who have insurance, right? And you're like, well, Sandra, I ain't got no insurance. What is it about insurance? What if we don't have insurance? We don't have insurance. Please look into getting some insurance. That's my first thing, because no patient should, none of us, not even a patient. Let's take this off of patients and let's talk about those people, humans, because accidents happen. We don't want them to, but that's a part of life. We should all have some form of insurance. But you're like, well, yeah, but they in my business. I don't want that. I want to do this on my own. Well, there's a website that you will find to be very, very useful to you if you are without insurance or you're self-pay. Look up MD Save. Once again, MD Save. That website is for those who do not have traditional insurance. It helps you find places that are in the area where you want to receive services at, and the type of service providers that you need to have if you don't have insurance and you're trying to, minimize the out-of-pocket costs. The other thing is, for those of you who do not have health insurance, what you should be doing is contacting the provider that you receive your services from. Contact that provider and say, Can I get a discount on my health care since I pay out of pocket, since I am a self-pay patient? Can I get a discount? There's a majority of providers will say sure, and they'll work with you because they want to get paid. So they'll work with you and they understand you don't have insurance. So they will work with you to make sure that you can see the doctor and it's not too much of a financial cost for you. But you need to ask when you call and make the appointment. You don't need to ask once they started billing you and now you're in collections and you're about to get your paychecks garnished, or you're facing medical debt or what appears to be a medical debt situation. You don't want to wait until that happens. You want to be proactive about it. If you don't have insurance but you need to go to the doctor, call that doctor and say, hey, I don't have insurance, but I need to come in. What, can we work out some type of payment plan, or can you see me on a discount basis, to see if the answer is yes or no. Like I said, there are a majority of doctors who want people to be well, who want to be able to service people, who will say, yes, I could put you on a discounted plan and they'll give you a discounted rate. But you have to ask, because they can't read your mind. They don't know. They have no idea what you have and what you don't have. Only you know. So it's important for you to take the initiative to say, hey, let me call to see, I really need to go to the doctor. Let me call to see if they can offer me a discount so that I can go. And finally, before I close, and I know I said there was just a few things, and I promise you all, it's just a few things, but there's another thing that I have to tell you, right? Take a look at your online insurance portal. If you have an online insurance portal, see what extra benefits are awarded to you. I needed acupuncture, and I refused. I was like, my insurance isn't going to cover this. I just laid in pain for a while when I didn't have to, because I was too stuck on they're not going to pay for it. Lo and behold, they do pay for it. Lo and behold, and not only do they pay for it, they pay for quite a bit of services, visits for them. So please check your insurance portal to see what benefits, what extra benefits that you think I ain't got, they ain't gonna cover this, to see what you have. And if you don't, if you look and you have an FSA, let's start using it. January 1st was 3 days ago. You need some glasses, you need the dentist, you want to go for acupuncture, chiropractic, naturopathic care. Let's use our FSA if we have it. That's what we have it for. It's for those expenses that we just may not have the money for at the moment, but you have an FSA, so let's use it. Goodbye until next week. Once again, if you have any questions, you need any help or any assistance, please do reach out. I also promise you that I'm going to find out how it is that I can actually use the comment section from StreamYard, as well as talk and as well as do these videos. That's on my to-do list. Actually, it's at the top of my to-do list, is to figure out how to do it and do it correctly, because I know and I so appreciate people that send me comments and send me words, and I don't actually respond to them right away. Yes, my videos are live. However, due to the fact that I'm really not sure how to get it done where I can see the comments as I'm doing the video, I don't respond, but I will respond after the video is over. So thank you so much. Continue on being blessed throughout this year, 2023. Let's get it done, patients. Let's get it done. Let's work with our providers, our insurance company, ourselves. Let's make sure we're being proactive in reference to protecting our health. Goodbye until later.